Are you tired of babysitting botanists? Do you want your weed farm to just run itself? Well, you're in luck because Tyler just released a massive update that allows us to create fully automatic farms. And I'm here to show you how to do it as optimally and efficient as possible. That's right, I've built the ultimate, beginner-friendly, fully automatic grow op right here in this little bungalow. Just place your delivery order, sit back, and watch the profits roll in. Whether you're busy or just allergic to effort, Big Willie's got you covered. And yes, we're going full heavenly quality, because here at the Big Willie business, good enough is a fireable offense. Also, I ran a poll and you guys basically said if it ain't gold star, don't even bother uploading the video. So, here we are. Let's dive into the layout. I color-coded this bad boy to make things easier to understand, but before you start copying, I gotta explain a few things. First off, you'll notice we have 4 botanists, but only 20 pots. That's because when growing weed, botanists just can't keep up with more than 5 or 6 pots each. That's also why we're using the moisture preserving pots instead of the air pots. You see, air pots add an extra watering step per plant, which makes the botanist's job even harder. More steps equals more wasted time and less profit. So here's the plan. Each botanist gets 5 plants and 3 drying racks to handle. Drying racks are way less maintenance than pots, so this setup lets our botanists work at their maximum capacity, 8 objects each, without falling behind. And each botanist is assigned to the same drying racks where the buds from their pots go. This reduces unnecessary walking around, meaning fewer wasted actions. Again, maximum efficiency. Now about those drying racks, because this gets asked a lot in my Discord. The best ratio of pots to drying racks for weed is 2:1. But in this build, we're actually doing better than that with 20 pots to 12 racks, so we don't have to worry about any bottlenecks here. And here's another key point of efficiency. Notice how the pots are in this room, right near the door. It's all about cutting travel time. Keeping the pots close to the waiting area means less walking for the botanists. Putting pots in the back room? Rookie move. I see that all the time, and it's seriously inefficient. Now, you may have noticed, we don't have any mixing stations. That's because in my last video, I built a fully automated mixing setup over in the storage unit, so don't worry, our beautiful Kush is going to get mixed up. But instead of doing it in the bungalow, we're going to transport our product to the stash and dash to mix. Which means we can swap out the chemist and handler we would have needed for 2 more botanists instead. More plants, more profit. And the reason we're using Granddaddy Purple instead of OG Kush is because of that preset mix I mentioned in that video. Banana, cuke, horse semen, mega bean. With this recipe, Granddaddy Purple actually sells for more than OG Kush, even when you factor in the higher seed cost. And before someone in the comments starts yelling at me, no, we are not using cleaners in this build. For the love of God, just do this. Trash causes a ton of lag, and even the dev recommends using the console command instead, so that's what we're gonna do. And now that you've got the big picture and understand why this setup works so well, it's time to get our hands dirty. I'm gonna walk you through this build step by step so you can set up your fully automatic weed farm without missing a single beat. Let's dive in. Here's a list of everything you're gonna need to get this build up and running. It comes out to just around $19,000, and I'm gonna keep this section short and sweet, so just take a screenshot and we can get to building. The first thing we gotta do is get all of our pots laid out, so we're just gonna put down the suspension racks and follow the layout I showed you guys earlier. And again, we put these racks in the first and second room because it minimizes the amount of walking time our botanists have to take. After we get the racks down, we can place our moisture preserving pots, so the botanists actually have a place to grow something. And then we can put down our beautiful full spectrum grow lights. Pretty simple, just follow the layout guide I gave you guys earlier and we'll be set. Alrighty, now it's time to flesh out the back room. Let's get those drying racks put down so we can make heavenly quality bud. Then we need to put down the 2 shelves that'll hold our finished product, and finally the brick press to smash it all together. Now, if you don't have the brick press unlocked, that's totally fine. The build will still work the same. Just replace the brick press with a packaging station. Now let's place the rest of our storage. We have to put down the rack for the botanists, 2 large shelves for the handler, and then we can put down our lockers. And these 2 medium storage racks, but I'll explain what those are for later. Speaking of lockers, let's go ahead and assign those to each of our workers. And don't forget to throw some money in there. Here at the Big Willie business, we pride ourselves on being fair and just with our employees. And now that we got that step out the way, we can set up our pots. So just go ahead and select all of them. Then set the seed to Granddaddy Purple and the additive to fertilizer. Then we gotta set the destinations. And buckle up because it's a little complicated. So this pot is gonna be assigned to a rack all by itself in the back right hand corner. Then these two are going to be assigned to the third rack on the right. And then these other two that are tucked away are going to go to the fourth rack on the right. And all of this is going to go to the same botanist, so go ahead and talk to one, give him the supply shelf, and then assign him each of the pots and racks we just set the destinations for. Now on to the next one. This pot right here is going to be the loner. We're going to assign him to the far left hand corner. Then these two on the side here are going to go to the third rack on the left. And these two in the middle are going to go to the fourth rack on the left. Now we need to grab our second botanist, assign him the supply shelf, and then give him the 5 plants and 3 racks we just set up. Alrighty, halfway done. So this little plant in the back is going to go to the second rack on the left. And these 2 plants at the end of the middle section are going to go to the 5th rack. And the ones on the side here go to rack number 6. Now we grab our third botanist, tell him where to pick up his supplies, and give him all of the stuff we just set up. Now to set up the last botanist, go ahead and select this pot here and assign it to the second rack on the right. Then grab these 2 in the middle and assign it to the 5th rack on the right. And these last 2 pots are going to go on the 6th rack. By now, y'all know what to do with the botanist. Give him the supply shelf, assign everything we just set the destinations for, and you're good to go. We're finally done with the botanists. Thank God. So now just select all the racks, assign their destination to the brick press, and make sure you set that quality to heavenly. Then we can set the brick press destination to this shelf right here on the left. And if you don't have the brick press unlocked, that's totally okay. Just put a packaging station here and set the destination to the exact same shelf. I'll show you an alternate route for the handler later that'll keep it stocked with jars. And speaking of the handler, let's go ahead and set him up. So the first thing we're going to do is get him assigned to that brick press, or the packaging station if you're going that route instead. Then come back outside and assign the loading dock to the first 2 routes. Then set the destination of the route to those 2 large storage shelves in the kitchen. This is going to automatically unload any deliveries we get to these shelves. Then for routes 3 and 4, select these 2 shelves again and set their destination as the supply shelf in the growing room. Then for the final route, we're going to set our handler to move the finished bricks from this shelf to this shelf, just so we have a little bit more storage space. But if you're using the packaging station instead, set this route to go from one of the shelves to the packaging station, and then fill that shelf with jars. Now we need to set up the item filters for our handlers, so go to the botanist supply shelf and set it up like this. The first 3 cells are going to be used for seeds. The last column is going to be used for extra long life soil, and the bottom 3 cells are going to be used for fertilizer. Then go over to the shelves where the handler will unload products from the delivery vans, and set it up like this, with the first 2 cells being for soil, and all the rest being for fertilizer. And on the second shelf, again, the first 2 cells are going to be soil, and the rest are going to be seeds. And let me explain why we're doing it this way for a second. You see, the extra long life soil can be used for 3 grows, meaning that for every 1 soil we go through, we use up 3 fertilizer. So by setting our slots like this, we have 60 fertilizer and 20 soil. So the ratios are balanced, and we don't have to worry about our botanists running out of things prematurely. And speaking of those dirty botanists, let's get them stocked up and order some deliveries. Now it's going to be different when we go to restock, but for the first time, order 60 extra long life soil and 90 fertilizer from our good friend Dan. It'll arrive, and the handler should, if you paid him, automatically stock all the shelves for us. And once he's finished, go ahead and order 90 Granddaddy Purple seeds from Albert. Again, it'll get delivered, and our handler should go ahead and restock everything. And now that everything is finally good to go, the botanist will start working. They're going to grab their supplies, plant the seeds, water it, fertilize it, you know the drill. And then once it's fully grown, they'll harvest it and put it on the drying racks. After it dries, they'll move it to the brick press, and the handler will turn it into a beautiful finished product that we can give to our dealers. Now, you are going to have to restock this one about once a day. You go through supplies very fast when you're growing weed. So before you go to bed every night, go ahead and hop on your phone and order 90 new seeds, 90 new fertilizer, and 30 extra long life soil. It'll arrive in the morning and your handler can unload it and get everything prepped for the day. Now, this is where the medium storage racks come into play. Because the Bungalow only has one loading bay, sometimes the deliveries get hung up a little bit. So after the handler has unloaded everything, if there's a little bit extra in the van, just throw it on the medium storage rack. That way the next van can arrive. Once you've farmed up enough product, it's time to get it all mixed up. So grab your bricks, throw them in the back of your Viper, and drive them on over to the stash and dash. Unload the van, break down the bricks, and your lovely workers will turn it into premium product. If you're curious about this mixing setup, I'll put a link to the tutorial video up top. Feel free to check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed. Join the Discord if you have any questions, and remember, stay silly, y'all.